What's up, y'all? And welcome back to another episode. You are now tuned in with Life with the Hortons. And today, who are you looking at me?
I'm just looking at
Okay, so I'm going to let my guest on here today introduce themselves.
I am Brittany.
I'm Pooh. Hey, how y'all doing?
Okay, so on today's episode, y'all, we're just going to be doing like nurse talk because all of us are nurses, period. Okay, so I have some questions here. I have some questions here that a couple people have asked that we're going to answer. So if like anybody is interested in becoming a nurse or getting in the healthcare field, honey, think long and hard. Don't get in it just for the money.
Long and hard, because getting in it for the money ain't it. It ain't it.
Period.
It ain't it.
Okay, so y'all, we gonna get started. First question is, what made you want to become a nurse?
My daughter was in the NICU for a long time, and at that time I didn't know much about, nursing and stuff, so I was kind of clueless. So it's more about learning about the human body for me, and being able to help people internally and also externally. So.
Well, I didn't want to be a nurse. I did not. I didn't want to be no nurse. I wanted to be an FBI agent. Well,
so you gonna investigate?
I wanted to be a special agent.
Okay, so.
But the only reason why I didn't do that is because when I applied for the academy, I didn't get in because I didn't have a 4-year degree in criminal justice, and I wasn't willing to be an officer for 5 years. So, next on the list was nursing, because I need something that's like I can't do the same thing over and over every day for the rest of my life. So I have to have a variety. So in nursing, it's a lot of stuff you can do. So that's where I'm at now.
Take 2. Okay, y'all. So why I became a nurse? I'm like who? I didn't always want to be a nurse. I had wanted to be a teacher. Y'all can't see me with no kids.
No. Hell no.
Look, okay, so I had wanted to be a teacher, y'all, because I used to play teacher all the time with my little friends.
Jazz is just bossy. That's why she want to be a teacher, because she's bossy.
No,
she bossy.
I'm not bossy, y'all.
Yeah.
But I became a nurse because like I like taking care of people. So I was like, well, if I can't teach kids, I'm gonna become a nurse, take care of people. So I started off like at the bottom of the field. I started off as a CNA. Pooh, you started off as CNA.
Yep.
No. I promise I wish I did, because it's so difficult when you're not a CNA first.
Right.
Because you don't know the CNA ropes. So when you ain't got a CNA, then it's a problem.
Right.
So it's definitely a must-have.
I
as a
always
nurse.
say, I really think they need to redo the whole nursing thing, requirements, because I think it's very pertinent for a nurse to be a CNA before they become a nurse, because they don't understand, they don't understand the workload of the CNA.
Right.
So they feel like, oh, this is your job, you shouldn't have a problem doing it. But it's not that. It's just the workload of a CNA is hard. It's hard work. It wear and tear on your body, and it's mentally frustrating to a certain extent. And people, some nurses that ain't never been a tech, they don't understand it.
Right.
It's a.
Now, being a CNA is struggle, honey. It show wear and tear on your body. Period. So if you want to be a nurse, but you like, I ain't wiping no booty, you can hang that up.
Right.
Yeah.
You gonna wipe some booty.
Yeah.
That's like my pet peeve, but shoot, they don't humble me, honey. I've been wiping plenty, but
so I don't know why people get into nursing and think I'm just gonna pass meds, or I'm just gonna give out injections, or I'm just gonna do this or that. No, you still play a CNA role in nursing. You still gonna wipe some ass, because if you go work in ICU or med surge, those units don't have techs.
Right.
So you literally do everything. You gotta change your patient, you gotta bathe your patient, you gotta brush your patient teeth, you gotta roll your patient, turn your patient, all of that by yourself. Now there's other nurses on the floor that can help you, but you have to know that role, because they got other patients that they self too. So
right.
Okay, next question is, how long have you been a nurse?
September. September of 2020.
So mine's been March of 2020. So
mine being December of 2018.
that's when I passed my boards. We finished school. And
when did you finish school?
we finished school 2019 December.
When you finish?
Oh, I finished school in September. I didn't pass my boards till November. So.
You still
But
be
I
a
was
nurse
working,
in
Right.
Yeah, but I was working as a nurse straight out of school.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, I was great.
So yeah, I was a graduate nurse. So that was.
So
pretty
2
cool.
years,
Like 3 months.
3 months,
1 year.
1 year. Okay, so you're gonna get some input on all the experience we have had in our little years. What is your favorite part about being a nurse?
Got me.
Now look at my glasses.
Take them all.
No. I be thinking when I take my glasses
Are
off
you
my
gonna post
eyeballs.
these bloopers?
Huh?
Are you gonna post these bloopers?
What is a blooper?
The stuff that we doing that ain't.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You just got it combined it or something?
No. Okay, so yeah. So what is your favorite part about being a nurse?
Mine would have to be being able to build a rapport with different individuals, whether that's staff, you know, especially the patients and stuff. Like, you really build a relationship with some of these people, and you get really, really close to them, and you learn a lot.
Right.
You know, because mostly I'm in long-term care most of the time, and you run into some wise older people.
Right.
Very wise.
Yeah.
So I love that about nursing, and plus I'm learning about my human body, like the ins and outs. Like that's a big one for me.
Right.
I think for me it's just being able to, like, you know, identify like problems. Like my thing is, like, you know how, like, you be somewhere and something happens to somebody but you don't know what to do.
Right.
Like, I'm in a position now I can save a life, literally, and know what's going on, versus like, I don't know what we need to do. We need to call 911 and the person can risk dying because nobody know what to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay, what's my favorite part about being a nurse is, the first thing is, like I said, I like taking care of people. I just like, in nursing, there's so many different ways you can go in nursing. Like, you don't just gotta be a nurse to work in a nursing home or in a doctor's office or in a hospital. Like, we all travel. Love that about nursing.
love it.
Like, throw that out there. It's good money.
Right.
Great money.
And like, you gonna always have a job. Like, it's always in demand.
Once you're a nurse, you always a nurse.
Period. Now, unless you do something criminal, you get them license taken. Right?
Depending on what it is. 'Cause I know a couple people that probably shouldn't have. They got them, but you know, hey, hey.
That's true.
I don't make the rules.
Me either. I just follow them. Okay, what specialty do you work? I work in long-term care, man.
Yeah, long-term
Long-term care. I wanted to do med surg. The only reason why I do med surg is because they was not coming up off their paper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
not for LPNs.
Not,
you know,
yeah.
for some
Now,
reason.
you RN, you gonna make some money in the hospital.
Yeah.
But
No.
as an LPN, yes.
No, not
Yes.
all the case. Okay, so listen, we had a conversation about this at work because I was like, you know, I was doing a BSN program because I was like, I need to hurry up and get my RN because, you know, I'm trying to make this big money in the
Right.
hospital. A nurse had been a nurse for a minute. She came to me, she was like, I'm gonna tell you this. She said, we start out making more money in long term than we do in the hospitals. She said, I forgot how many years she been a nurse, but they only started her out at 23 in the hospital.
Yeah. Is she new?
No, she been a nurse for a minute. And they only started her out at $23 in the hospital. And she said it's not cracked up what it's like, you know, it's not what everybody think. People don't make, a lot of nurses don't make a lot of money in the hospital. It really, for you to make your big bucks in the hospital, it depends on your specialty.
Right.
That's what it depends on. Because I think she was working in NICU, and I think she worked ICU, and I think those the only two. But she said she wasn't making no money.
But you know, a lot of nursing homes though don't like to hire RNs because they gotta pay them more money.
Because they gotta pay them more money, and then, like, you know, also it depends on the hospital too. You gotta be very careful about what hospitals you go to because Vanderbilt, that's the big name, but Vanderbilt don't pay no money.
Yeah, I heard that.
They don't pay that. The benefits are good, but Vanderbilt doesn't pay what you think that you should make at Vanderbilt.
Right.
Like, it's not there. So, you know, big hospitals, you know, just do your research because all big hospitals, big names don't make the money.
And
that
I
you think
heard
they make.
that non-profit hospitals pay more.
Non-profit hospitals do pay more.
Yeah, they say they pay
I
more
worked
money.
for a non-profit hospital when I was a tech doing psych, and we made more money than you would make
Than
like
for-profit.
right, yeah.
Well, there you go. Okay, so next question is, what's the most hours you have worked in a day?
Woo!
Who don't work the most hours?
I didn't work 24 hours in the day.
Oh,
12 is all I done did.
16.
24. Yeah, I think I got everybody beat on that one.
Sure. We were just talking about that. I said this is good for 24 hours.
I work
Big
24 hour
bucks,
shifts
no whammies.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Heck no.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
I work a 24-hour shift.
Girl,
Is
because
them the only days you work?
I work every day. I work 6 days a week. And just on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I work a 24-hour shift.
So what you do on the other days?
On the other days, I do 8 hours.
Okay. So you give yourself a little break.
Yeah, in between.
You don't get no sleep, honey.
Man.
At all.
I mean, okay, so okay, so some Fridays I don't work a full 24. Some Fridays, like if I go in on the morning shift, like I worked at 12, and then like I'll get off and maybe do like 11 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But sometimes I go 12 to 12,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll get no break. But if I do 12 to 12, I don't work on Saturday.
Mm-mm.
So Saturday I
Lead to
sleep.
it.
Right. I'm gonna let you
I
have
can't do
that.
that, honey.
I don't
I know
know.
the
My body weird. It's set up like that. Like when I'm not at work, like I feel out of place. I can't function
Because you're used to
because
being
I'm
on-
used to
right.
being at work. So like I tried to take off a week. I took off a week. And like the third day, my mom was like, "What's wrong?" I said, "Girl, I gotta go back to work. I'm gonna go back to shift, and I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't know. I just
Made that money. Hey, go make it. Okay, so do y'all prefer agency or full-time job?
Agency.
Period.
Agency all
Make
the way.
my own schedule.
Right.
I'm making double, triple the money. Like,
Quadruple.
I like stuff to revolve around me, so
For me,
it works.
For me, making my own schedule,
Yep.
daily pay.
Yeah.
And then like when you work for these full-time when you work full-time at these places, they make you go above and beyond.
Yeah.
And you agency, baby, I'm coming here for
here to
12
help y'all.
hours
And
and that's it.
Yep.
That's it. Ain't no can you come in, can you stay over? Absolutely not. Because this is the thing, they don't even want to pay us to be there for one.
Right.
Two, if I stay over, you gotta pay me more money. So y'all don't really want to come about the money. And then on top of that, just think about it, you get bonuses. Like some of the agencies I work for, like if they do a late call, let's just say the shift started at 7, they do a late call, you can legit be like, well, I'll go in at 10. You're gonna get paid for the full shift and you're gonna get a bonus. And the bonuses be good. That'd be like a couple hundred, you know. So
Honey, I need that agency.
Right.
She ain't doing it.
no, she'll keep not doing it. But there was an agency I worked for, so the bonus was $300, and it was a late call. So I told them I would be there at like 10. So I got there at 10, got paid for the full shift, got my $300 bonus, and got my regular pay. So it was lit, and it was a premium shift too. So,
Oh, yes, so you was getting top pay.
so I got top pay. Yeah.
So let's explain some of that to some of the people, because some people don't work agency. So let's explain how agency works, like how you pick up a shift, what's a premium shift, all that.
You have a variety of agencies. Okay.
Yes.
So all agencies don't pay the same.
No.
Right.
Like some of the agencies I work for, like one Epic I work for, but Epic pays more than Shift Key on a regular basis. Like it's not premium pay. This is just a regular basis that they pay more. And so like the premium shifts, it usually increased by what? Like
Ours,
1.5.
yeah. Well, we can go up $2.
1.5. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so let's just say you got the base pay is like $23.75. You could probably make $35, and then you can increase that. This is with Shift Key though. Right?
Yeah.
You can increase that to what? You said $2 more, so
37.
37, and then boom. So you making $37 an hour for a shift that was originally like $23 an hour, but it was a premium shift. And then you always gonna go for the highest money. Always, always go for the highest money. But I tell people be careful with that too, because if you notice, a lot of places that pay the most money is them places be pure bullshit.
Right.
Yes, that's why they be paying all that money.
That's why they pay all
They
the
short
money.
staff.
But see me, I'm gonna go.
Right.
I don't got
Yeah.
time. I put
I'm
in my
here for
AirPods.
12 hours, 8 hours,
Right.
whatever.
Yes, I'm just here for the moment. I don't gotta go, and that's the thing I like about agency. If
Yeah.
I don't like that facility,
You don't
I ain't
have
never
to
gotta
go
go back. You never have to go back, and there's always gonna be jobs. Somebody always need help. It may not be the pay that you want it to be,
Right.
but they're gonna always need help, and it's just that people call out all the time. People miss work. People get fired, and we in a pandemic, so.
Best
There's
time.
like a shortage
It's the best time.
everywhere. Yes, this is the
It's a
best
shortage
time.
period for nurses, whether
Yeah.
it was pandemic or not. It's
Right.
a shortage. So,
But this
good
is
job.
legit the year of the nurses because, you know, I looked at a couple assignments. I mean, I'm gonna have to add y'all to the group, but it's this crisis group on Facebook, and like they pay their nurses like over $100 an hour.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so here I'm going to show y'all how to pick up a shift on Shift Key. You go to schedule. You pick what region you want to go to. And then once you do that, it'll pop up all the jobs that's in their region. You click on it. Change their pay rate up $2 more. So that'll be $35. Request a shift. And boom, you go to work. Well, really, you have to wait on it to get approved. And then you will get an email or a text saying it's approved. And then you just go to work. So the next question is, do you plan on going back for your RN, or do you plan on going back for something else in the healthcare field?
Mm-hmm.
It's like this, y'all. Like, okay, I would like to go back for my RN, but like we can make good money.
RN money right now.
Like, so it's like
It's not at the top of the list.
Nah, like it's like you want to go back, yeah, you want to better yourself, but it's like not right now.
I'm finna tell y'all, like, okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all my school experience. I just failed 2 classes, but you know, I ain't even impressed about it because at this point, like, I kind of rushed into it because as soon as I got out of LPN school, I was in the BSN program before I even graduated LPN school. So I had absolutely no break. So I just went from school to school, and then so getting into the BSN program, I still had my exit HESI to take. I still had my boards to take. I still had
Too much
final
on the plate.
exams to take. So all that crammed in at one time, it was a lot. And then that school, they don't care. You an adult. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta submit your assignments. So I can't even tell y'all how many assignments I done missed because I done missed that many assignments. And then on top of working like
24 hours.
It ain't even it. When I first started working as a graduate nurse, I had to go, you know, you gotta work for a facility to get your experience.
Right.
And all that. So I was having to work so many days because, again, we're in a pandemic, so short staff. We didn't have nobody, so I was having to pick up more shifts than what I had planned on picking up. And it became overwhelming. Do not rush into school. Take your time because it's not, you can make good money being an LPN. People downplay the LPN role.
Right.
But first of all, let's be very clear. We the ones that started this, but hey, we'll let y'all be great. We did start this because before there was RNs, there was LPNs, and LPNs did everything.
Right.
The only thing that we cannot do is hang blood, mess with PICC lines, and push certain IV meds. Everything else we do the same as an RN. So don't let.
And they do
become
the assessments and care plans. I don't care to do none of that.
I don't want to do a care plan. When you start doing a care plan in school, you're gonna be like, fuck this.
What the fuck are you doing?
Right, period. I like doing the bare minimum.
Yes, give me the bare minimum. That's it. I don't want to be sitting here doing
Bare
no care
minimum
plan.
high pay. Come on.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly. Because we making more than some RNs out here now. Some
Let's
of
be
them.
real.
Yeah.
Why they be trying to call us little pretend nurses, honey?
Yeah, it's
Little
the
paid nurses, what
No,
y'all
they always say low paid nurse. But yeah, LPN. That's okay.
That's okay.
Because we
Let
high
you keep
paid
it
right
in.
now.
Right.
We high paid. Highly paid, okay?
What's the hardest part about being an LPN? I don't know. I don't really know no hard part.
I think so I'm in a bigger city. So I think the hard part is that, like, when you go to some places, they like, oh, you just an LPN.
Right.
Like, ma'am, I literally learned the same thing that you learned in school and can do the same tasks that you do. It's just a few things that's out of my scope of practice that I cannot do.
Right.
And I think, so there was this one nurse, she, I had a patient that was going into respiratory depression, and I called it. She told me I was wrong. She told me my findings weren't right. So I said, okay. I did what I was supposed to do. My patient O2 dropped, so we got oxygen, called the doctor, and told the doctor what I did. When the doctor got there, she assessed the patient, and my findings were correct. So it's just like, don't let another nurse that been a nurse for years downplay you. Whatever you think you heard or whatever you think you found, stick to that.
Right.
And if you gotta call the doctor to back it up, do that.
Exactly.
Because had I not put my patient on oxygen, she probably would have died.
Right.
Or she probably been really respiratory depression, can't breathe, and we gotta send her out. In long term, we don't have the equipment for people that who O2 drop that low. So we don't have the right equipment. But I did what I was supposed to do. It prevented her from going to the hospital. So You just can't let other nurses knock you. Whatever you find, stick to it, write it down. Even if you, some stuff I still have to look up on YouTube and stuff like that.
Right. They do
a lot
that
of
too.
stuff we do in school, we do it on dummies. I had a patient, a track patient that needs to be suctioned. I told her, give me about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I went and looked it up on YouTube and I suctioned my patient. But you're going to run into a lot of nurses that don't know, and they're going to Google it, whether or not they want to tell you.
That's what they did at night. Because, honey, when I worked at the hospital, all them RNs be Googling.
Yes, and then that's another thing. The difference in between LP and the RN, we get more clinical training than the RN does. So we go in knowing how to do more skills than the RN does. So, you know, don't let them, if you want to be an LPN, be an LPN.
Right.
I think starting from the bottom is very pertinent because then you know how each role works.
Right.
And you won't be offended or you won't feel like you're out of place. When it comes to certain situations.
In your opinion, won't be biased either.
Yeah.
Right. So do y'all want to give a time where, well, I guess you just gave us a time. Brittany, do you want to give a time where you was put in a situation where you had to, like, make a decision, like, at the spur of the moment?
Yes, just recently, I had a patient that, clearly this patient was been going down for a while. And, you know, we in agency, so we don't know much about these. When we go in these facilities, we don't know much about these people. But this person's O2 dropped, high respirations. He's gurgling and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, one CNA said, he been gurgling for a while now. And I'm like, I called the doctor and the doctor's just like, they said that he's supposed to have pneumonia in his lungs. We're going to have to get him another chaser. I'm like, his O2 is so-and-so.
Right.
His respirations is this.
Right.
I need this man off my floor into the hospital like now, like stat. And eventually they, you know, let me send him to the hospital and stuff. And this man still, to this day, is not back at this facility. You know what I'm saying? Because he was in a really bad place. And, you know, a lot of times they may look over stuff like that. Yeah. So you, as a nurse, you really have to. You
have to use your nurse judgment.
Yes.
You have to.
When you feel like something off.
A lot of times these doctors, they not in these facilities. They see the patient. They literally come in, see the patient.
And right now,
15 to 30 minutes.
Right now, a lot of them, like in Memphis, they are doing virtual, so the doctor's not coming.
They depending on you. They depending on you.
Exactly.
So your findings need to be
accurate,
very accurate. Don't go in and halfway do your job because you can miss something.
Right. Don't make up stuff.
Right.
Don't make up.
Honey,
I see a lot of people doing that.
Making up vitals and honey, just go in there and take a
I think the only vital that most nurses make up is respiration.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's but now you know you got a patient like a COVID patient and you know there's something you got to watch. Okay, you gonna count that respiration.
Right.
But for the most part, you look at somebody, you like,
you
okay, they breathing.
They
breathing.
You gonna like, okay, they like a 16 to an
18 or 18 to 20.
Right.
Now don't be wild and putting on 34 because that's just too much.
Right.
Like,
don't put no 12.
And I know some nurses really don't know their parameters, and I think that's really strange because as much as we have to do vitals, you should know your parameters. Just even if you look at a patient and you think that they fine, because I have ran into the room where I look at a patient they breathe, I'm like, yeah, I know their oxygen level got to be like 97. You put them on their O2, it say 89.
Right. But some people run low. Yeah. Like, but so you really need to know your patient because some people, like got COPD, they might run low. So you got to know people normal. So
and like with COPD, like a normal O2 is not common for them. Like, like they being within parameters like 93 or 94, but you hardly ever see them at like 97, 98, 99.
Right.
That's too much oxygen for them.
Yep.
Honestly, that's way too much oxygen for them.
And some people don't be knowing when a patient got COPD, they think when they oxygen low, okay, let me go put them on some oxygen. No, they're hurting them more than it's helping them.
Yeah.
But
that's why they normally never put them above 2 liters. But they do put them on oxygen.
Yeah. That's why you need to know your patients. And with agency, you have to get as good of a report as you can.
Let's do a walkthrough.
Yep.
Let
me know.
Walkthroughs are very important. I had to send a patient out Friday because I didn't know him. So normally patients that have dementia, they always confused. So I can go in and talk to them if they don't make sense. It doesn't ring alarm in my head because they have dementia. So it's normal for them to be confused and it's normal for them not to make sense. He was alert and oriented ×1, so I didn't think nothing of it. The ADON came down, was like, we got to send him out, and I'm like, why? And she's like, he has increased confusion, and I'm like, so what is his baseline? So it's always important to know people's baseline because then you know what to do in certain situations.
Right.
I didn't know his baseline, so it wasn't my call. So when the ambulance got there, I had to find somebody who knew him more than what I did, because all I can tell them is that he learned Orient times 1. And they said he was having increased confusion, but when did it start?
Right.
Because what was his baseline before this happened? So it's very important to know your patients, because you can make a mistake.
And don't be scared. If you made a mistake, just confess up to it. Don't let it linger on and go to the next shift. You're like, well, maybe they'll find out. That's all.
It wasn't us. It was
They had to be the second shift. It wasn't on first shift.
Yeah, just take accountability for anything. Like, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Like, some people get so scared to ask questions. Baby, I'm going to ask.
So
okay?
And I'm calling the doctor, nurse practitioner, who allows me to talk to.
Right.
I don't care if they got an attitude. You going to talk to me.
And
just that.
The doctors, too, you got to be careful with. Doctors are just smart because they got this higher degree. So, but doctors make mistakes.
Right.
Yes,
they
make mistakes. Okay? So, it's important for you to know the patient, because when you got to call a doctor, sometimes we had to call them in the middle of the night. They waking up like...
Sometimes you got to make suggestions and stuff. And
Right.
he be like, yeah.
Let's
Get
try
them
that.
thinking on the right path a little bit.
Right.
So, yeah, most definitely.
So have y'all ever made a medication error or anything?
That's all I'm laughing because I did. So listen, all right, so... Okay, they tell you not to pre-pull your meds, but if you want an easy-going med pass, you gonna pre-pull the meds.
Yeah.
So, but don't do it when state in the building. Do not do it when state in the building. If state ain't there, do what you gotta do.
Right.
So, this one day, I had this lady. She real, she with it. She not. I don't know why she there, but she with it. Maybe I guess she don't have people take care of her or something, but she with it. So I had pre-pulled her meds. So I had went got a medicine cup to give me some vitamin D. It was the vitamin D3, you know, the little white pills.
Yeah.
So majority of her medicine was white. So I had sat it down and I sat them beside each other. And so I had took her vitals and I gave her the medicine. And then it was a minute before I figured it out. And so I was going to get some more D3 for another patient. I was reaching in a little cup. And then I was like, oh, shit. I said, I think I gave this lady a cup full of vitamins. It wasn't harmful. I just gave her a cup full of vitamins. But I was like, damn.
It makes you...
I had to Google, like, vitamin D toxicity, because I'm like...
Every nurse should have, I ain't gonna say should have, but they're eventually gonna have a med error or something like that. And it definitely makes you pay attention.
Right.
You have to make mistakes to, learn and be like, okay, I need to be more careful.
Yeah, because I was a little relaxed. I ain't gonna lie. I had this patient every day. I knew what she took.
Right.
Yeah.
So you get like that
get
too.
comfortable.
If you work a full-time job, not agency, and you working on the same hall every day, you can pull your people medicine like it's nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, so be careful with that too. Don't be too comfortable, too relaxed, because that's when you get a med error.
Yep.
But we also, a lot of our nurses got a med error, but it wasn't on us. It was because somebody put in the order wrong.
that too.
So always verify your orders. If you even got to pull it up on paper, look in the computer, because for every patient, the doctor wrote an order out of what it should be. But sometimes, like, certain facilities, they don't have, the doctor won't put in the order. They'll just give it to you to put it in.
Right.
And then, like, if we short staff and somebody else has to do it, they may put it in wrong if they don't know the patient. And that's what happened. The order was put in wrong, so we was giving her more narcotics than we should have been giving her. So, it was a med error on the DON part because she put in the order wrong. We just following what's in the computer to pull the medicine. So,
but sometimes in like a situation like that, if somebody, like when we both work at a certain facility, we had somebody else put our orders in for us. So just because a doctor gave you something to put in or gave you an order, don't make it right.
Right.
So sometimes you could be like, okay, now I know this ain't right. So just because a doctor say to do this, don't mean you do it. Sometimes you gotta use your own nurse judgment and be like, nah, I can't get this. Or nah, this ain't right. Let me call back again. They be like, oh yeah, that was a mistake. I'm sorry. I'm glad you caught this. So just because doctor give you an order, don't make it right.
Too, because like a lot of the blood pressure medicine, every blood pressure medicine should have parameters. And I hate going to facilities where they don't have parameters because it's like, I have to use my nursing judgment at this point because you don't want to bottom somebody out. And with insulin too. Right. Like some of these people get crazy amount of insulin, and yeah, it may be true that they are bad diabetic, but I'm not about to give you 100 units of insulin.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's very, very
crazy.
tricky. Because you gotta think, did my patient eat today?
Right.
Have they ate?
Are
at
they
all?
gonna eat again?
Right, exactly.
When I go in these
Insulin's
patients'
tricky.
rooms that are diabetics and stuff, I look at like in their drawers and stuff because some people they hide snacks.
Yep.
And they eat snacks all night long. So if you gonna eat snacks all night long, I
I'm
know
gonna
your
give
blood
insulin.
sugar gonna go up, so I'm
Right,
gonna give you this insulin.
right.
Whether I think it's too much or not, I'm gonna give it to you because I know that you a snacker at night and you gonna eat more. But normally at night I try to be a little bit more careful with the blood pressure because the blood pressure gonna drop because they not eating
Right.
for the most part. So you don't want to bottle nobody out with the blood pressure. I mean with the insulin. Did y'all hear about that facility that gave everybody insulin instead of the flu shot?
Girl, shut up.
Oh God.
I ain't lying.
Well, I hope it wasn't the whole lot.
It was a lot of people, staff and employees.
Girl.
Staff and patients. They thought they was giving a flu vaccine, but they gave insulin. So they sent a lot of people to the hospital because a lot of people's blood pressure started dropping.
I
So-
bet people probably falling out.
Yeah. You gotta think.
Right, like girl, I just feel funny. I was just that flu shot. And next thing you know, like,
Oh Lord.
What's
Right.
going on here?
right. Why is everybody falling out?
Why is everybody falling out?
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Be careful with pulling, like some medications sound the same, but they are not the same.
Right.
So you need to know your medications. So I have a PDQ book, but in the book it tell you like, it give you all the different lab values. It give you how to administer medication the right way. Cause you know, some people don't know how to accurately do an IM injection or, so you know, we got these
What
different,
angle?
what
How many
angle,
degrees? Stuff
the
like
needle,
that.
you
The
know.
size of the needle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So I got a little book that tell it's
That
real
matters.
small, but it tell you everything. I keep it with me and I take it everywhere I go because
that sounds
places
good.
don't want to help you. They be like, oh well,
Yeah.
you a
You
nurse,
should know.
you should know how to do it,
Right.
and that's not always the case. It could be that I mean, when I did it in school, it was on a dummy, so
Right.
you're not
And
gonna
you're not
remember
gonna learn
everything
everything
from school.
And you're not gonna learn everything. You need
No,
to know
you're not.
everything will really be on the job training.
Everything. Majority
Yeah.
of what you're gonna do in nursing is on the job training.
Yep.
It doesn't like the book world is completely different from the real
And
world.
Right.
one thing you don't really learn in nursing school, or can I say, I didn't charting, and charting really is a big thing.
I didn't learn how to properly chart either, but like when I do my charting, I go back and look at the previous note to see, you know, especially with you being an agency,
Right.
you don't know the patient, so when you got a chart on the patient, you like,
Well, I don't know.
the patient.
Right.
But
that's
you
true.
know, at nighttime I keep it real cute. Resident rested in bed.
Right, at this time, no
No
complaints,
complaints,
voice, right.
no complaints
No
or
distress,
pain or
none of
discomfort, no distress,
Yep.
no and with the COVID, you know, they want us to do the infections and respiratory depression and all of that. No signs of nothing.
Right.
Call light within reach.
Yep.
We'll continue to monitor.
Right. That's it.
That's it.
Keep it cute and short. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. But I will say I've had to do stuff that was out of my scope because the place that I worked at, there was no RN, so I had a patient that had a
Pick line,
not a pick line, it's the
central line.
central line. She had a central line, so I had to.
Look, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't doing nothing. This out of, hey, y'all
I
call
ain't
somebody
either.
go over here.
I ain't
Unless
either.
they
No, and don't
Yeah.
do it. But I did it that night because I really didn't have nobody else do it. And this lady, she was on antibiotics, and I needed to give her antibiotics. So I did what I was supposed to do. I called another nurse in. Look, you watch.
Right. Get a witness.
Always keep a witness with you.
Yep.
If you don't know how to do something, or it's your first time doing something, get you a witness, because if something go wrong, you got somebody to back you up and be like, well, she did the right step.
Right.
Because I mean, we can give somebody something and their body may just not take it, and it can go completely wrong.
Yeah, that's what they be doing in Memphis, girl. Like they be, they got a wound leg, they got this. Oh, y'all got a wound care nurse for that?
Right.
Y'all got
Period.
look, cause I'm not doing all
no.
that.
I don't even care to learn wound
Yeah,
management,
me
nothing.
Me
That's
neither.
not
I
my
don't
thing.
do no wounds.
Wound
If I can just
burns.
put a band-aid on it,
That's it.
I don't want
I'm
nothing to
good.
do with it, because every facility should have a wound nurse.
These are just a few little steps on how to properly do wound care management. Okay, look, we gonna close this out, y'all. So, like, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if there's something that y'all like to see from us pertaining to, nursing, because we're all here to answer questions. Stay tuned, and we out.
Yeah.